So how is this program immediately going to help the marginalized and especially the women?
So I think there are two spaces that are quite important. One is on all of the people that are actually impacted by crime or exclusion, and in this case, women. Quite a long ways to go. I think the underreporting, not getting help, and then generally speaking, the sense of shying away from the justice system, broadly speaking. You know, we did actually ask, as part of our surveying, we asked people in Balochistan and KP, where the majority of this work actually is taking place, do you have access to justice? Only 42% in our survey reported, yes, we have access. And then when we asked, what is it that stops you from going to the justice system? 80% said poverty and 50% said corruption. And I think these are important statistics. That's why the bigger picture is always just as important, which is women particularly, if they are underrepresented in many economic sectors, they do not have the money or the time or the luxury to wait 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years just to go through the system. It not only gives you or looks at access, but it looks at sustainable, decent, predictable access to justice, where, in all fairness, we all know that in many countries, any kind of attempt to get into the access to the justice sector, police, prisons, is often an indecent experience. And that's why I think being able to offer good facilities, being able to offer decent capacity and awareness is what will encourage people, and women particularly, to approach this sector with some confidence that there is positive at the end of the line.
Thank you, Louise. That brings me to you. UN Women is an agency that works specifically for gender equality and women empowerment. A lot of the barriers were listed here by Sam, by yourself. And what is particularly UN Women doing to address those challenges?
So we really want to work on, as we're saying, conducive working environments for women, that they get into these institutions, but that they also stay and thrive and excel into these leadership positions. So making the conditions more positive for them to engage in them, having women-friendly facilities, looking at women-specific needs, such as childcare facilities, are issues that needs to be looked at in order for these kind of programs to be successful, sustainable, and really seeing that increase that we want to see of more women in this sector.
Troel, let me ask you about this government stakeholders. How is this program engaging? Sam spoke about that briefly, and especially based on the UNODC's experience in Balochistan. Would you elaborate on that a bit?
So there's a very close coordination on a daily basis. I mean, we have an office in Quetta. We also know that the local government has put aside resources towards this program, the other side of it. A project can never do anything if there's no sustainability and input funding coming from the receiving end. But there's a promise on that as well. We're very happy to see. I just want to take the chance also to comment on two things. I mean, Louise mentioned that the national level of female staff in the police is 3%. I think we can be happy around this table to say that in Balochistan, since the start of this project, is moving from 2 to 4%. So we're above average, and moving the radar 2% is actually pretty well for a project. And again, this thing of working with the local authorities, we work very heavily with the police training college in Quetta, especially refurbishing the women hostel inside to be able to facilitate more. So 200 female officers went through that, were able to be there, lived there, and has gone out now serving, which has provided the base from 2 to 4%. Sam mentioned the issue on corruption, which is a major problem in police forces, judiciary all around the world, not just in Pakistan. And it's proven in some of our international studies in UNODC at the global level that having more female officers actually minimizes the risk of corruption. Having female officers in a group of 8 male and getting 1 or 2 female officers in actually diminishes the corruption. So I think we're on right track on that indirectly, but of course more to come.